Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Harry here. I'm back with another video. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the Genaray SPE-500B. Before we get too in-depth, for those of you who are, just watching this so that you can, quickly figure out if you like this light or if you don't like it and you just want to, move on, let me give you the basic rundown right now. Overall, I would say this light is good. It's nothing mind-blowing by any means, but I would say it's a good light for the price. It gets plenty bright enough, the colors seem pretty accurate, there's nothing that's inherently wrong with it. I wouldn't say it's the most color accurate panel ever, but it's also about $200. And to give you a test right now, I am using the light currently. This is my key light, and it's working pretty well. I have the diffuser that comes with it over it. The diffuser that comes in the box is not really that amazing, as you can probably tell by the shadow behind me on the wall. It does kind of soften the light a little bit, which is good enough for me, but I would say you're gonna have to figure out, how to position this light accordingly so that you don't get, that. In terms of build quality, it's plastic, but it feels pretty sturdy and doesn't feel cheap. All of the dials and twist mechanisms for the tilt of the light are perfectly fine. The frame that is holding up the light is metal, so you have that going for you. Before I get to the full review, I will throw in one negative thing, and that is the step process that the light goes through when changing intensities and also changing color temperatures. It's not really smooth, and as you can see, it does have quite a bit of stepping in it. For me, it's perfectly fine, but I know for some people it might not do the trick. So if you want a light that dims smoothly or adjusts color temperature smoothly, this might not be the light for you. So I got this light about a week ago. I've been playing around with it and just kind of seeing how it performs, and I want to give you my thoughts on it. The Genaray SPE-500B light, or the Spectro LED light, comes with a power adapter as well as a standard IEC cable with an Edison plug that goes into the wall, and just the generic DC input into the light that will power it. You can also power this light via Sony NPF style batteries. It is really, really nice that this panel can be powered with those. I've seen a lot of other manufacturers do this, and it's cool to see Genaray do the exact same thing. The interesting thing about the Spectro LED is that you can actually stack up to 3 lights together to form like a larger panel. That's kind of interesting. There are mounting points up top. It's just kind of like clips mixed in with this kind of almost like plastic, like cold shoe or hot shoe mount that allows you to put up to 3 lights together in a large kind of panel formation. For myself, I have the light on a standard run-of-the-mill light stand by Impact, and it's sturdy. It works, just fine. The twist unlocks work really, really well. They actually feel really sturdy. I was a little bit wary because generally these can feel kind of cheap, and this is where manufacturing will usually skimp a little bit to try to save money to bring the cost of the light down. But these actually feel really nice. They are plastic, but they're a very high quality plastic. In fact, what is most prominent on this light is plastic, but it's high quality plastic. Of course, like I said in my overview, the frame itself that holds up the light, that part is metal. So it's not gonna just fall apart on you. I wouldn't want to drop it down a flight of stairs. That probably wouldn't be the best thing for it, but it's absolutely, sturdy. The light does dim from 0% all the way to 100%. There is no digital readout. It is all just, by a turn of a knob. And also, I should point out that with this light, you can actually use all 500 LEDs if you turn the color temperature knob to somewhere in between 5600 and 3200. So you get probably about like a 4000, 4200 color temperature. But honestly, going in between color temperatures to use all of the LEDs doesn't really yield that much more light, at least not as much as I was expecting, but there is a noticeable jump. The few ports that are on the 500B feel perfectly sturdy. I wiggled the DC input around a little bit, and while it did kind of give in whichever way I pushed it, it didn't feel like it was gonna break. One thing I definitely do not like is how if you raise the light up to higher elevations, the power brick or resistor kind of dangles below. This is something that's not new to this particular light. There are so many lights that either have ballasts or power adapters that just kind of hang awkwardly somewhere, halfway or a quarter of the way down the stand. I do wish the power adapter was, a little bit earlier on in the chain of power flow, but the fact that it's not isn't surprising because pretty much every other manufacturer, just has theirs kind of dangle awkwardly from the stand. But it would be nice to kind of see that change. The other ports that are on the back of the light are the inputs and outputs for the MLC multi-link cable. This allows you to link up to 3 lights together, and the one that starts the chain acts as the master and the other 2 act as the slave, so you can dim or change color temperatures. I unfortunately do not have the lights or the cable to test that out to show you, so I'm just going to have to kind of take Genaray's word for it. Now, before I get to my conclusion about the SPE-500 or 500B Genaray light, I do want to cover some negative aspects about it. Something that I found kind of just puzzling. The way the diffuser goes on is just a little simple kind of clip, hinge system that's built on using tension to hold it in there. That works perfectly fine. It doesn't come out very easily. The unfortunate thing is that if you put the diffuser on and then attempt to tilt the light down, what ends up happening is the diffuser runs into the bottom of the frame. And the easy way around this is just simply unclipping the diffuser and moving it up and putting it back in place. But then it doesn't officially clip into the little notches that are on the light to make sure it's, on securely and properly. That's a little strange. I'm not really sure why they didn't just have kind of a slot system for the both height of the light and the width of it, so you can just slide it in, maybe have like a little tab that keeps it from falling out. That seems like it would have worked a little bit better than this, but it's serviceable, and like I said, you can just simply unclip it, pull it up a little bit, and then you can tilt the light wherever you need to go. The one other negative thing, for some people, not for me personally, is the fact that the light intensity changes or color temperature changes are not smooth. They are step-based kind of, so there is a little bit of this kind of, like step as it goes through the different intensities or the different color temperature changes. But I know some people might want to do fancy things like make the light, intensity go up and down or change the color temperature while on camera smoothly. And it's not as noticeable on camera, but when you see it in real life, it's much more of just kind of like a, step, 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 step. It's not smooth at all. For me, that's not really that big of a deal. I just thought I'd mention it because some people might want to know about that. In conclusion, who is this light for? I would say this light is for people who are doing YouTube videos like myself, people who might do, some small like interview situations. You need just a really, quick and easy light to set up. Something that gets fairly bright while not drawing a ton of power or producing a ton of heat. That is one thing. It doesn't really produce that much heat at all. It gets a little warm, but that's it. I really like this light. I've been very impressed with this light, and I'm not sponsored by Genaray. I bought this with my own money because it looked like a good deal. It's about $200 on B&H Photo right now. I'll have a link below. But yeah, I would say check this light out. If it's for you, then I would get it. Definitely has my seal of approval. I really, really like it, and it's been good for me so far. Well, that's it. Like and subscribe if you want to. Comment below. Ask me a question about the light. Is there anything that I missed that you would like to know about it? Leave a question below, and I will try to get to that as soon as possible. If you want to check this light out on B&H Photo, I'll have that link below as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.